Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Triggered. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Adam Furman. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
A bit sleepy.
Oh,
okay.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Well, all you listeners out there, sit back and get your ice-cold glass of whiskey filled up all the way to the top. We got a good one for you tonight. Oh, I forgot. We're coming to you live from a bombed-out bunker beneath the streets of the Gaza Strip.
Oh, no. Zach.
We'll get into that a little bit, but the Arabs and Jews are at their old shenanigans again.
I'm shaking my head at you.
What? Oh, I thought you were shaking your head at the Arabs and the Jews and their endless conflict.
No, I was not.
Oh.
I'm shaking my head at you.
Alright, let's get into it. First thing we got is something new from Scanner Radio. You may have heard, but there was a series of screwdriver robberies committed across the area. Yeah, they robbed a gas station in Barrie at Screwdriver Point.
Using
Canton?
a screwdriver.
Canton, Missouri, I believe, and even here in town, but they finally arrested the man himself. Last night, QPD arrested the screwdriver bandit, Richard Benke.
It's the...
I
thought he was stealing screwdrivers.
No. He was using them as a deadly weapon to hold up the Jiffy Stop in Barrie, the One Stop in New Canton, Illinois, the Dollar General on North 12th Street. He is apparently a resident of Coatesburg, Illinois, who was taken into custody at Nacton State, being lodged in the Adams County Jail. And this is the fine gentleman himself. Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah. Look at all those bills this guy got from sticking up gas stations with the screwdriver.
He posted this on Facebook?
I believe so, yes.
Oh my gosh. Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
I believe he done did it, guys.
Oh.
Well, there wasn't much else in the scanner. It looks like fight season took a break, or at least there wasn't anything really reported in the scanner. So no exciting shovel, pipe, bat, knife, etc. fights. But maybe they'll get...
The weather kind of chilled out.
That's probably what it was. It was pretty cold.
People got back into their houses and apartments and just decided to, chill out and watch TV instead of going out and stab each other or shovel each other in the face.
Oh, well, I mean, it's time for them to go outside, Adam, because as you may have heard, the CDC said that if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask outside anymore.
That sounds very weird. I didn't know you had to wear a mask outside at all.
Not only don't you have to wear a mask outside anymore, like a few days later they said, if you're fully vaccinated, you can go back to life as usual. You can do everything you used to do. Because, exactly right, the rule was always that you didn't have to wear your mask outside.
Actually, wasn't just like 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was something along the lines of, this is we're at like a breaking point. There's going to be so many hot spots everywhere, despite all the vaccinations.
You could still spread it if you've been vaccinated, was the thing that was like a month or two ago. And then it was, no, you just have to keep wearing a mask because you don't know if someone hasn't been vaccinated. If you have everybody's still wearing masks, then those anti-vaxxers can't sneak in and get you with their infectious juices.
This all seems so surreal.
And then they went back to, well, this is bad. People that are vaccinated don't see any benefit to getting it other than some, intangible, abstract concepts. Because hardly anybody's getting sick anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't know, the whole having to wear a vaccine or wear a mask out after vaccinated and stuff. That all seems fake. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I said, I think it might have been one of those ops, like Fauci in the first week of coronavirus, when he was always like, masks, they're not for you. They cause other problems. So masks aren't for you. They're for people who are sick and for healthcare workers. And
Does
then
nobody remember that? I don't get it.
And it was like 2 weeks later, like, actually, that was a lie. We're lying straight to your face. You're supposed to wear masks now. It's like, oh, so we can't trust anything you say. That's not what I said. I said that you have to listen to me regardless.
It's absurd. It's absurdity.
Yeah, I'm not entirely, I don't know. I haven't been following it too close. But
I remember, well, like what you said. It was like, don't be buying this stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't help you, etc., etc. And then it was like, oh, just kidding. You needed it. We said that before. We were lying to you because health workers needed it, and there were shortages, and you didn't need it. You needed it less than the health workers. And yes, we did lie to you, but that was to protect the greater good or whatever.
I don't know. It was stupid.
Now go get them.
And you've lost your credibility at the very beginning of a global health pandemic emergency. Good job. But I don't know. My understanding of the science, not being an epidemiologist myself, is that they are of limited effect in preventing you from getting sick as a mask wearer. And in fact, they can cause you to have more of a disease vector toward yourself. Because something's on your face, you're going to be touching your face more, and that's how the bugs get you.
Yeah, I remember I was listening to some people who had dealt with actual the SARS thing in China and who had lived through these types of pandemics and whatnot before, and they really emphasized the fact that you needed to have a lot of your PPE, and you need to dispose of them properly every time, and to apply them properly every time, because it's like one slip up and you're done. New mask every time, new mask every maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Your gloves and stuff, you need to take them off in a certain way, otherwise there's no point of you even wearing the gloves and the mask because you just contaminated yourself. I specifically remember there was a hearing before Congress or something, and people were wearing the masks, and they were literally passing this mic from person to person, and as it happened, they would pull down the mask to talk into it. And the guy that I was following with this stuff, he said, United States is not serious about this. No one's serious about this. Just look at the way that they're acting.
That is 100% accurate.
Dead. You'd be dead if it was as deadly as what. I mean, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. Contaminated.
I think that it became clear to me later that it wasn't that the masks were for you, but that they would keep your juices in. They would catch your juices, so that you can't breathe out your stuff onto people. Those are all captured or deflected, so they don't go straight on you. And we're going to go back to the old way. And I saw this meme, and I was really... really... finally, we can get back to the way things were.
Oh, gross. That is pretty gross looking.
Hey, I'm so glad we're not going to be wearing masks anymore. Oh, blasphemy me with your aerosol juices, please. Gross, man. This is what's happening. I'm not, I'm not opposed to mask wearing. I haven't had a cold since the pandemic started because everybody's been so, sanitized and masked up. So.
Oh yeah, me either. I've never ever been sick since the pandemic.
I think as a public health rule, you have to actually admit that. So I think you might be breaking the law currently.
No, HIPAA. I know HIPAA means that you don't have to disclose anything medical ever.
I don't think that's what HIPAA means.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Health insurance, portability, something.
The Health Insurance Portability Act has something to do with privacy and your medical records.
Yeah, you can't. You don't have to know.
Why do we name things the things we name them?
Okay, HIPAA is okay as a naming convention because you're making a word out of the stuff like CERCLA or RIFRA. It's normal. Now you get into an issue when it's like Patriot Act or what's the Afghan Service Act or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Violence Against Women's Act,
Violence Against Women's Act. Did that mean something, or was that just what it was called?
It was called that, and it had to do with like giving. I think it had doled out money.
Yeah, that's a different thing though. The ones that have like the
or
really.
Was it a federal crimes? I think for violence against women, and the authority that they used to base it off of was the Commerce Clause.
Right.
Something like that.
But instead of some strained anagram or whatever, it's just like that's the name of it. It doesn't violence against women. Each of the letters don't mean something else.
Correct. No, that's right. It's just another one of my things though that those two things where you have like the acronym, and then you also have the obtuse name that no sane person would like on its face be against. Yeah. Oh, are you gonna vote no against this?
Against the Save Children from Predatory Sexual Abuse Act? You like sex offenders?
No, look at it's like, read the bill, it has nothing to do with it.
If you vote no for this, you're a pedophile. What? I don't know, all those guys vote no over there.
It's like, look at the thing, it just doles out money to pharmaceuticals, that's all it does.
Whatever, sounds like a guy who loves pedophiles.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't vote for that guy again. He's a pedophile sympathizer.
Oh my gosh, look at these deplorables in this district voting for a pedophile.
Oh my gosh. Half of Congress is pedophiles. Oh my gosh. Ugh, distasteful. But they're also, because
10%.
Masks coming off, vaccine push is happening. They're pushing it out, trying to
pushing it on you, pushing it in you,
pushing it into you, literally,
pumping it into you, pumping it in you,
jabbing it into you, and then pumping you full of the juice.
Yes, jabbing it multiple times, depending on the.
Oh yeah, you can get jabbed up to 3 times for some of these things.
Yeah, and people willingly want to be jabbed.
I don't know. That's the trouble. A lot of people say, but Ohio's got the fix. The governor of Ohio has announced that they are going to be using federal COVID-19 relief dollars to conduct a $1 million lotto drawing for those who have received the vaccine. If you get the shot, you could be in the running to win $1 million, Adam. Yeah,
so they were gonna jab you and then pump you and then tape a $5 bill to your chest or whatever.
So I thought, what gives Illinois? Why aren't I getting in the running to win $1 million? for getting a shot. That seems lame. I feel hurt.
We can't afford it.
A disservice upon us. Whatever. These guys couldn't either. They stole the federal relief money and they're making a laundry out of it.
Illinois doesn't even give us flowers.
They might. You can get a lot of flowers with $1 million.
No. I'm saying you get your jabbed and pumped, and then they don't even give you flowers.
They're giving you $1 million. It's better than flowers.
Illinois is not doing that.
Oh, Illinois, no. Illinois is not doing anything. But I said that if they were serious about this, they would start paying people to get.
You did say that. You said like $25 per person, or
whatever. I bet that's all it would take, and you'd like double the amount of people that are getting vaccinated.
You'd be like, like the whole vaccine passport would be like reversed, where like people would be like trying to delete their vaccine passport because they'd be like, I'm ready for my first shot, and they'd be like,
another shot, please.
You'd be like, sir, we have it on record. You've had it for like 12 times or whatever. Like,
you don't know.
Take your like boost of oxygen.
I need to make sure I'm protected from the virus. That's what I'm worried about. They say it gets more efficacious each time you receive the vaccine. These are just my boosters. Now pay me my $20. I'm getting a little a little jittery yet.
Like you're rubbing coke on your gums.
That's exactly what I was doing. That's good catch. Oh. But, so yeah, Ohio, I mean, they're paying people to get it, whatever, I don't know. Who's to say what's right or wrong, Adam?
Oh, you know when you know.
Just like with the Middle East conflict referenced at the head of the show, who's to say who the oppressor and who's the oppressed and who's the aggressor and who's the aggressed over in that conflict? All I know is that it's really making some wonderful photographs.
Oh, that one looks insane. That is crazy. I saw that and I was amazed. Which one's which?
The straight lines. So I guess this was like a long exposure.
Okay.
I don't know. This is just what I heard on the internet, so it's obviously true. Long exposure. The ones on the right here are the ones coming out of Gaza. Psh. And then this over here is actually when the Iron Dome interceptor vehicles intercepted the Hamas rockets.
That's what I thought.
And so this is the Iron Dome, the missile defense shield that Israel put over Tel Aviv and all along the border, I guess. I don't know. Everywhere. The entire country. It's covered by an Iron Dome.
The type of technology is you need a lot. You need a lot of hardware.
Yeah. These rocket attacks have been endless. I'm like, how many rockets well, I guess it's been a while, right?
Just storing them.
Yeah,
they earned income and not spending them.
They're just building up a giant stockpile of these rockets.
Yeah,
for the last decade.
Yeah. Here's your monthly. Here's your monthly stipend of rockets. And it's like, oh well, we're not going to be using it this time, so let's just put it in Joe's garage.
Yeah, bury it in these underground tunnels. It reminds me of Tolkien, but the Dark Lord would retire behind his walls when he was too weak to face the Alliance armies, until he could build up his orcs to an overwhelming force. And so it could be like centuries even. And then he'd unleash them all at once. Like a flood, an overwhelming assault. That's what they tried. But, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of accurate reports or whatever. I don't know how many. I have seen some reports of some of the rockets landing in people's houses and cars and things. So I know the Iron Dome isn't catching everything, but it's pretty impressive to watch them just like snipe those rockets right out of the sky.
Yeah.
the conflict is very spicy, and Israeli ground troops, the IDF forces, have invaded Gaza. There's another picture of the Iron Dome rockets exploding them. Benjamin Netanyahu went on the TV. I said that we would charge a very heavy price from Hamas. We do this and we will continue to do it with great intensity. The last word was not said, and this operation will continue as long as is necessary. Dun 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 dun. Ba-da-bum. Israel is going to occupy Gaza again as a result of this. Is my belief.
That is probably what will happen. Yes.
But we'll see. I don't know. They've degraded the Hamas ability to continue war, but I don't know if that's going to be enough this time. But because Bibi's saying stuff like this. And he's like, she's going to drive him into the sea. And it's like, oh my gosh. There's this is bad juju for peace in the Middle East. Atrocity breeds more atrocity. Atrocity does nothing but arm for the next one. But you can't.
I don't know. Seems like Hamas might be on its own this time. Well, that and Iran, but. I mean, aside from that.
Yeah, you just have, like, whatever. Terrorist attacks for the next 100 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I was going to say something. I can't remember now. Anyway. Hard to say where it will end, but, one more brick in the wall on the greatest, most popular presidential election winner of all time on his watch. Peace in our day, nearly in within our grasp in the Middle East, snatched away. Oh, sad day. If only Trump had been reelected.
Honestly, I think there might be an ounce of truth to that, but whatever.
I don't know if you could have stopped these guys. Like I said, it looks like they've been stockpiling rockets for a decade. So
yeah, but I mean, like his mean tweets,
Yeah, all the anti-Biden people have been on fire on the Twitter lately. It like shows a picture next to burned out Palestinian children or whatever next to a picture. But at least there's no mean tweets.
Yeah, that was like a really weird thing to say when it started drum striking Syrians. There's just no fanfare, no mean tweets, no nothing. ... just bombs.
Yeah, no mean tweets, just bombs. So far, so good. What?
That's just ridiculous. It's like leaders used to say stuff about that. We are doing this for this reason, and this is why. And even if it was just like shoehorned into a speech for whatever principles or whatever, but now it's just like it seems to be like ignore it, don't say anything. We don't want to draw attention to the fact that this is happening.
I don't know, because oftentimes you would have like a doctrine, some sort of philosophy regarding your interaction with the world and your broader strategy, goals, and scope.
Yeah, your national security policy.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
That's the official thing, and then you would say, oh, it's the Bush doctrine, or whatever. It's the Monroe doctrine, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it could be. It's always better for me if it's like more like grandiose, like this soaring rhetoric, and it's like We will be a shining light unto the world, and we will bring freedom to all of the huddling masses of the earth. And so that sounds really cool, and you don't really know what it means.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And so then it's like, oh, cool. What are they going to do?
They're going to bring the rainbow flags into Arab nations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because, like, you could be like Rome Reborn.
Ooh.
Restore the Roman Empire.
So it spans from sea to sea.
Oh, yes. Manifest destiny. Until all of the world has the stars and bars, stripes flying over.
No.
We were talking about that earlier. The old Confederacy and their expansionistic ideas of world conquest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's when we moved on to Rome. And it wouldn't be just on Earth. Rome would expand into the stars.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait till Rome is born again on Mars. All praise be to Elon.
I don't know about that, but
my ambitions are a bit lower, and they were stoked again by some tweets I saw. First, from an account that I really like to file from this British TV show called Quite Interesting, and they oftentimes tweet quite interesting facts, and I really enjoyed this one.
oh, gross.
All sorts used to mean the dregs of drinks in a pub, collected up and sold at half price to drinkers who are not overly particular. I'll have some all sorts, please. All right, honey, that'll be half a pence. Like, excellent. Just what I needed here at the end of the night. Whoa, is that an old cigarette butt? Let me just take that.
What? Okay, hold on. Read that again. All sorts refers to the dregs, what?
The dregs of drinks in a pub, collected up and sold at half price.
Sick. No, I thought because, there used to be no, never mind, because everything would be on tap.
I don't know.
I was
It's like
thinking, you'd pour your beer and you'd leave the dregs in, right? Because that's what the reason a beer bottle is designed, is to keep the dregs inside. So you just leave it, and so they would collect those. But the way that it sounds, and especially since bars are usually on tap, it would be, your cigarette butt, or they would accidentally get, the cup with you that you've been spitting your chew in all night.
oh yeah, you collect all of the flagons that are laying about your bar, and then you dump them into the bucket, and then you ladle out some for a guy who pays half price. I don't know. I think we should bring it back. I think that this is something that, it's alcohol, and, it's sanitized by the alcohol content of the beverages. I think it's fine. Coming off of a global pandemic, we just showed you the picture of what it's looking like whenever you talk to somebody with your mask off. You're basically drinking them in anyway if you're in the same room. But along with this, I also saw this tweet for an endless stew. And apparently this is a thing from back when, often called a hunter's stew or a perpetual stew. A stew containing whatever is on hand and added to as needed, constantly kept above the danger zone. It can be in the same pot for years, if always above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a perpetual cycle of adding and removing from it. It was often a staple of medieval inn meals. So, you'd have your bucket of endless stew, you're ladling out, and then adding more stuff in. You got your jug of all sorts, pouring it out, taking a swig off of it. I think it's a perfect model for a modern day establishment.
I would trust that eternal stew a hell of a lot more than the dregs, the
Just,
all sorts.
it's fine.
Gross.
Just make the all sorts of hot drink too.
Oh yeah, warm beer.
Ooh, just make it like body temp though.
Oh, oh, it'd be like lukewarm.
Ooh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Well, yeah, you got people in there. You hungry? Would you like some stew? We can pour you up a bowl with your drink there. Maybe put a little corner of stale bread in there. Ah, $3. All you can soup. I saw it. I didn't know if it was in this thread, but it had an actual example, and it was like an onion soup from Thailand. I don't know if it's going to be in this one. Oh. Well, I did tweet under this. After 1,000 years, a new organism began to grow in his once safe, eternal stew. Dun 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 dun. Because there are some bacteria that are known as extremophiles that live within places that normally is inhospitable to life.
Yeah.
That are extreme temperatures, like all close to the boiling point and stuff like this. And under my imagined future, one of these eternal stews that has been brewing while was brewing long enough to create one such bacteria, and then it turned deadly. Andromeda strain style.
Ooh yeah. Where the only way you can defeat it is by drinking a bunch of booze. You're all sorts.
Yeah, I don't know. The only way to defeat the Andromeda strain was to wait.
I thought it had to do with like your something with your body temperature.
It was your body pH. The Andromeda
pH, that was
strain couldn't survive in an acidic environment, and so they said that there were two survivors of it, and it was an old man who was drinking squeeze, which was sterno.
Yeah.
Sterno juice. And a baby who was crying, and apparently crying a lot, not breathing. It's the low oxygen, makes you acidotic, raises your blood pH, so that the Andromeda strain couldn't get you. But no, nothing happened. It was like, that book is very strange. All of a sudden, it's eating plastic, and it like completely like down to the bone, just like polishes the entire skeleton of this pilot. But then it's fine. It doesn't hurt anybody ever again, and as far as we know. And it just stops killing people, and it's very strange.
Oh. Okay, nature's healing, I guess.
I don't know. I listened to the audiobook again just the other day, and I'm like, it was super weird because it's like it's like this like hard sci-fi thing about this this government agency that's working in this underground bunker to try to figure out how this thing works, what it is, how to stop it, and all this stuff. And it's like going through all these processes and investigations and stuff. And then it's just like, oh, I guess it mutated. Now it doesn't hurt anybody anymore.
That's very weird.
Yeah. But some of Crichton's books are sort of like that. It's like, through dumb luck, something has just gone right to save our entire species or whatever. So, I don't know. I'd like to talk to him one day, but sadly he's died. He went up and died on me. Oh, terrible. But not as terrible as all the screechers on the internet trying to cancel folks and being humorless about all of life. Most recently, a gentleman who apparently was working for Apple. He apparently, before he worked at Apple, he had wrote some stories, and I don't know anything about his stories, but I know that apparently they were deemed problematic.
Ooh, that's a danger word.
Yeah. Chaos monkeys. And I don't know. And apparently he's going after him for defamation. And he put a post thread up, and he's talking about what exactly happened. In his fifth one says, Apple has issued a statement that clearly implies there was some negative behavior by me during my time at Apple. That is defamatory and categorically false. Dun, 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 civil lawsuit. We're going to get another James Damore quiet settlement with confidentiality agreements.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But
everyone's like, Apple's totally in the right, or wait, Google's totally in the right, and it's just like, I don't think you know about this stuff.
Yeah, I think we even talked about that at the time. But apparently, and I don't know exactly, but this is an excerpt. And so this lady, I don't know who she is either. I should probably know more about this stuff if we're going to talk about it. But anyway, she's like, that Applefire, the guy who wrote this, an overwrought but honestly pretty entertaining pain to his wife's toughness for being sexist, is the most dumb, self-sabotaging nonsense I've seen this week. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to read this excerpt to you folks.
Ooh.
Because I actually read this earlier and I chuckled a little, and it was pretty funny. Most women in the Bay Area are soft and weak, cosseted and naive despite their claims of worldliness, and generally full of shit. They have their self-regarding entitlement feminism and ceaselessly vaunt their independence. But the reality is, come the epidemic, plague, or foreign invasion, they'd become precisely the sort of useless baggage you'd trade for a box of shotgun shells or a jerry can of diesel. British Trader, on the other hand, was the sort of woman who would end up a useful ally in that post-apocalypse, doing whatever work, be it carpentry, animal husbandry, or a shotgun blast to someone's back, required doing. Long story short, you wanted to tie your genetic wagon to the bucking horse of her bloodline. I thought that was good prose. I liked it. But apparently it's sexist somehow for some reason, even though it's not attacking women, it's attacking San Franciscans.
Yeah, except for that one.
Which one?
The one who was the one you want to tie your genetic bandwagon to, or whatever.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the context. I don't know who this is. Apparently, she says that he's talking about his wife or whatever. And then the comments come. Doop, 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 doop. It's not just that one quote. I don't effing care, man. It's a book. Writers shouldn't be punished for expressing themselves in a bombastic, colorful way in this context. So, racism and sexism is okay if it's in a funny book? And she says, yes, you insufferable scold.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you can't have a book with racist characters in it.
Oh, you should. Do you read a Stephen King book at all?
Yeah, I don't know. You can't have a character.
He's got every single one of them. There's a guy like this guy who drops that N-word a million times, and it's like, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, so I was rewatching.
It might just be him, but
it might just be. That's like some people say. It's like they just have that guy in there because he likes saying that N-word. He just likes putting it in his books. So that's what he does.
That's kind of what that's the theory, and yet he still gets these books out, and
I don't know.
For Apple, so
that's I've read a few Stephen King books, and I mean that's a guy that exists. There's a guy in the world that uses the N-word, and if you can't write a book about him, I don't know. That's not allowed. That's not a subject that we're permitted to indulge in, because including the word, even with like symbols put in for the letters of it in a law school exam, is too triggering for people to read, if you remember that story from a few weeks ago. But I was trying to think of this word, scold back. It was several months ago, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been in the context of some cancellation culture or just henpecking by my significant other. But I was like, "There's a word for somebody who does this, and I can't remember what it is."
Oh no.
And it's definitely a scold, and that's what I was thinking of. And so I'm glad that I came across it, because it really, like, I want to bring this back. We need to just call these people what they are. They're insufferable scolds. One who scolds habitually or persistently. I don't think that these definitions did much justice, but it's what we got. Dated, now, sometimes offensive, a woman who disturbs the public peace by noisy and quarrelsome or abusive behavior. And and the other thing on the internet I saw was a shrewish and irksome woman. Yes. So to all you insufferable scolds out there, don't get your panties in a little bunch. It's fine. Just having some fun here. You can go back to your cross stitch or whatever it is you're doing and leave us be. Men are talking.
You're gonna get murdered.
Yeah, well, that is my ultimate goal. You may recall last week there was the excellent photograph of the president and his very good visit with the former president, Jimmy Carter, and his wife.
Yes.
And there was something off about the proportions. Like, for whatever reason, the Carters just looked like miniatures of themselves in a dollhouse. But so someone went ahead and they fixed it. And we've got this photo here. Let's see if we can do a computer. You can do it. Ah, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's awful.
It is more horrifying than the other one. Because it's like, for whatever reason, they've just grown in size.
It's gonna be, if you have, textbooks made for children, I would choose this photograph.
Oh, it's very good.
So in 100 years, it'll be like, what was wrong with people back then?
Oh no, people just started getting smaller and smaller as the years went by. Compared to the 70s, we're literally the size of children. Oh, this was another one I liked.
Oh no. Are they even smaller?
Oh no, they've just
They're smaller.
They've drawn ventriloquist dummy lions on their faces and given them doll eyes. Lifeless doll eyes. I don't know. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'll make it bigger.
Wait, is that the normal?
Oh god! Scroll over here. Maybe I won't be as horrified as the. Oh, get out! Get out of here! Oh.
Wait, was that the normal proportions of the original photograph?
Yes! He took the original and just... Oh,
they just put the lines on it?
It's horrifying. Oh, looks like we've had some activity in the chat. Let's take a quick gander here. We have a Soylent Green is people. Oh, it's probably in reference to our endless stew.
Yeah.
We have Fred chime in. Wasn't there a South Park episode about smug San Franciscans? Oh yeah, they were like sniffing their own farts at parties, and it created a giant smug storm, and it went out and like destroyed
Oh,
stuff. If I remember correctly, it was a perfect smug storm, like where it collided. Doesn't Quentin Tarantino's movies use that word a lot? I don't know. I haven't seen. Who watches Quentin Tarantino films, Fred? He's such a racist. Only terrible racist people would be in his films, including Sam Jackson and okay, whatever. Wasn't Jamie Foxx Django? Yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Didn't he just recently do? Oh, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
We got this one. They should draw those lines on Joe when he speaks. You hardly see Kamala or Nancy's lips move. Implying perhaps that the president might just be a puppet to other people taking advantage of his senility. I don't know. I think his wife might be in on it too.
Yeah,
Old
definitely.
Jill Biden. I've seen some social media stuff.
Yeah,
It sounds like she's running the show too. So
it's been 100 days. We're just getting started.
oh, is it where she's wearing like those red heels and she's like
Yeah,
walking away from the camera?
with the wind coming in and yeah, it's like honestly, it's like what you would find on a girl boss romance book cover or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
No, hardly at all. Hardly ever.
You know, Zach.
All right, and folks, and to finish up the evening as usual, we've got our ice cold fact of the week straight from the Twitter feed of Ice-T himself. Ice cold fact. Every situation in life is temporary, so when life is good, make sure you enjoy and receive it fully. And when life is not so good, remember that it will not last forever, and better days are on the way. Ice cold fact.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Ice-T is always spitting the truth. Follow him on Twitter. It's pretty good. Ooh, pardon me. Ooh. Burpee there. Also, Mr. T. If you want to get a daily dose of the Lord, that man, he has devoted his public persona to proclaiming Christ. And he's doing a pretty good job. He's recently partnered with Haynes and Tide to do a promotion and to raise some money for some folks down on Skid Row and for a missionary work down there.
It's like I've seen him on Twitter with like, promoted ad or whatever by Tide, and it's just like Mr. T with Tide stuff. And then I saw that one where it was like he took the reins and he's like, "Hey, Tide helped me preach the gospel."
Yeah, he was out there. He had an American flag headband on. And he was reading the Bible to a bunch of folks down there, talking about all sorts of stuff. Anyway, follow Mr. T as well. He's a good guy. I saw him in one time at Charlie Parker's in Springfield. My brush with greatness. But that is our show tonight, folks. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can click like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, share this video with all your friends, let them know about this wonderful content that exists. You can also follow us on social media, and maybe we'll see some spicy retweets. You might even see a photograph of my chicken coop. Socials are located below our pictures and in the middle there. I have not put the last week's episode even up on the audio podcast, so I'll try to get to that along with this one at some point. Also, apologies again for the streaming issues we had last week. It appears that we've worked them out this time, but you never know when the internet fairies will strike. Adam, did you have anything you would like to add here at the end of the show today?
No.
Oh, excellent. Well, folks, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Trigger. Good night.